The Crooked Epic, 1 in 1. The Inn of Maniacal Madness, 5 Alex. The Maze, 5B, 1. When they were at the field corner, an alarm siren blared, and Alex turned to see if they were being followed. As soon as he was able to see the soldiers coming out into the open, he was sure they had spotted the horse, but his ride turned abruptly between two houses. The horse slowed down, stopping next to a house with a veranda. Ahmed hopped off the saddle and helped Alex down, tying up the horse. They both ran into the house, which appeared to be abandoned like the one Alex had hidden inside by the hotel. Down the street, past the far end of the fence enclosing the field, a train station ran north to south along a railroad track. It was hundreds of yards away. However, Alex noticed it as they entered the building and wondered what the purpose was and where trains leaving Hobb could travel to if they were underground. As they entered the house, Alex sensed how a coup had already occurred. There was no furniture nor light bulbs in any fixture, yet the light through the windows from the sunrise gave both Alex and Ahmed visibility to find a door which led downstairs to a basement. Alex followed Ahmed, whose daring courage rebuilt Alex's attitude and perseverance. A small freezer box was unplugged from an electrical outlet in the basement, which Ahmed moved sideways off a trap door underneath. First, Ahmed grabbed a wooden stick sitting next to the stairs and pried up the square cement block enough to grab a piece of twine between the notches. Lifting the rope handle on the piece of removable cement, Ahmed pulled the trap door away. In the hole were just a few duffel bags, yet Ahmed ruffled through them and found two with smaller bags inside of them. He handed one to Alex. "There's food in here, stolen bread from the inn." Again, another bag. "This one has water canteens, some clothes outfits, and this one," he said, reaching again for another bag from the duffels, "has a leather and woolen sleeping bag, canvas and wrapped tarpaulin, ropes and stakes. Eat something fast first." Alex hurriedly opened the food bag and looked inside at the contents, all wrapped in cloth. Reaching into the bag, he found a smaller cloth containing hard and dense components of a silverware set. Sifting further, he felt something softer and large, which he opened. He broke open a piece of the bread while Ahmed opened another bag for himself. Ahmed withdrew a canteen, unscrewed the lid, and passed it. Alex swallowed so much, he splashed the water and took another bite, chewing while he chugged from the water. He tried to smell the air around him as he ate in the dark basement. His hand wound had slightly healed, and as he started to look for more makeshift bandaging, it finally occurred to him that something had helped him recover, miraculously. Visually observing the boy in front of him in the dark, Ahmed stood up and started to the staircase. "Come back up when you've changed clothes. Hurry, please. I need to replace the freezer box before leaving here." "Are we going home?" Alex asked as Ahmed climbed the steps. "Not me. I have nowhere else to go. I must stay here. One of my doubles has been out to create mischief in America, and the wars which are coming will make things worse for the people like me who want to leave here. The federal agents who came to get you and your brother have known of these secret murderers in Hobb for decades, but will not aid by any side of these terrible factions growing on Earth." Alex listened, trying to understand how Ahmed said the agents were anti-American, what he meant by double, and why the wars would involve him and their family. While Ahmed explained, Alex also assembled a personalized rucksack of gear. It was mysterious how his parchment of unwritten letters survived the kidnapping and brave battles, yet they were there, rolled together and tucked in his pants pocket. Alex went behind the freezer box and changed his clothes into the outfit he had found in a duffel bag, which matched most of the soldiers' uniforms. Ahmed huffed. "I want to go home, though." The cavern opening was covered with rocks. Alex walked over to the stairway and looked up at Ahmed, who was standing at the top landing, frightened, with his finger pressed to his lips and his other hand around his ear, motioning to hush their speech. listening to something outside the house which was inaudible to Alex downstairs. Alex began to ascend the stairs slowly, keeping his toes at the edges of each step to limit the noise made by his footsteps. Then Ahmed waved him up, and his eyes were wide and dilated, showing fear and uncertainty despite proving improvement and providing leadership during Alex's angst and desperation. Alex continued, and Ahmed waved again faster, indicating to Alex an emergency. So Alex began to move more quickly up the dark stairs, wondering where the next attack would be coming from. As the landing was only a few steps away, the witch tackled Ahmed out of the doorway. Alex rushed the rest of the way to the top and glanced to see the witch had pinned Ahmed down. Ahmed was screaming and dropped the rifle next to him, but when Alex stepped to retrieve it, the witch spun her head around, flashing pointy fangs and twisted, oversized mouth around occluded, gangling teeth. She grabbed Ahmed's jaw and face while using her other hand to secure the rifle. Alex backed up and tried to figure out if there was any way to get the rifle back, but decided it was not possible as the witch bit into Ahmed's face, mutilating him. With Ahmed gone, Alex was on his own again, and the only way to escape seemed to be the horse. With the kit bag straps sharply clinging to his shoulders and tightened around his waist, and only a few days' worth of food supplies, Alex hopped with intuition toward the back door. Ahmed was still struggling, and the witch may have had the upper hand on him, but her focus could not be pulled away, or he would resume combat with her, even though his grotesque disfigurement would cause severe disadvantage. The witch had come in from the open front door, so Alex was holding faith for finding possibly an undetected getaway, despite the search parties which were surely scouring the entire town. Outside, their horse was waiting by a wall which sheltered his visibility, and Alex fearlessly pivoted, climbed up onto the saddle, and grabbed hold of the cantle using his elbow. All around the grass field to his right, crowds of uniformed guards huddled in groups and took commands from superior officers organizing the search. Alex visualized his path to vindication. His only escape depended on if he was able to find a way to get over the top of, or somehow around, the walls surrounding Hob. So it was his best idea to try and ride the horse to the lake, where it might entail a swim to the river. His horse instantly left its maintainable and controlled gait on the first try, and Alex grabbed hold, pushing his feet into the swinging stirrups. It started running in the right direction, away from the field where it must have already heard and sensed the militias gathering in the unrest across the street. Here it rallied and speed even harder, bursting to the left, directly toward the side of town with the hotel and lake. Alex turned once more to the train station behind him, wishing he had a better plan with a broader range of options or accurate details of the area's geography. The guards in the field did not notice him at first, but when Alex's horse came to the first intersection, men were lining the roadside, looking through buildings and moving in the direction Draken had insisted was west of the church. While Ahmed was left behind to be killed by the witch, Alex rode without sense of guidance nor any map. As he passed, the guards did see him, and some began positioning themselves to shoot their rifles. Behind, the witch ran into the street, screaming at the sky. The horse kept moving, and shots missed as he quickly left the line of sight for the riflemen. Hundreds of feet remained between the next intersection, where to the left had been their introduction to Ahmed by the restaurant, and diagonally ahead was the gazebo. The horse was fast, and when Alex looked around to see where the witch was, she had not even pursued chasing. His path was clear. Alex leaned into the stallion's mane and was fleeing the wrath of Draken and his militia successfully. As Alex neared the gazebo, he turned to look down the street where the restaurant and toy shop stood and saw a man who strangely appeared again to be Ahmed, calmly walking toward him without any mangle. Instead, Ahmed was holding a leash attached to a dog's muzzle. The dog was short-haired and black, but brown on its thin legs, and it held its muscled rib cage. Ahmed bent over the dog and unlatched the muzzle from his face, and the dog was already baring teeth and snarling with its nasty, sharp fangs and growling. Unleashed, it barked and began running full speed at Alex and his horse. Past the bridge, the horse was gaining momentum and able to distance itself from the dog. Yet Alex saw ahead. It was the inn, barricaded with cars and trucks around the exterior wall. The inn's giant tower stretched high into the air, with the sun brightly reflecting around the satellite dish at its apex in daylight. Atop the perimeter wall, Alex was now able to see cannons pointing out across the town, and this gave him the idea to try to infiltrate the inn somehow while riding his horse. Approaching quickly, Alex looked at the front gate, which was still open, emptied and unguarded. So he pushed himself lower on the horse and readied himself to enter the outer area of the hotel. The dog followed them, barking from 100 feet behind, but the horse did not lose speed as it weaved directly through cars and trucks and galloped under the gate. Once inside the hotel's border, Alex looked to the farthest corner of the town center. Luckily, ramps were used to move the cannons to tiered levels up the walls where they sat along the walkway. At either side of the gate, there were only 2 guards who spun around with rifles in time to see Alex and the horse run up the nearest ramp to the corner. Alex had planned to use the vantage point for his final escape. The guards had their guns ready in moments, though, and as Alex's well-trained horse began to climb the ramp, they shot. The dog ran up from behind and gained fast as both bullets punctured the horse's legs. Alex fell off as the horse reared back and dropped off the ramp. Alex's fall was rough, landing on a stone walkway with the full pack, but he raised himself up and ran up to the top walkway before the men could aim accurately to shoot again. As he reached the walkway, he turned to the left, which obscured sight from the guards behind the bottom cantilever of the tower. Yet the dog had run up to the first level on the ramp. When he came to the safe side of the top walkway, he looked down off the wall and saw shallow water below him from the lake, which was fed by a deep river. He grabbed his pack and slung off his shoulders as the dog careened around the ramp to the ledge. Within 40 feet from him, the dog was charging to attack when Alex pulled the pack open where he found the silverware cloth. The deranged dog jumped in less than 1 second, and Alex was retrieving a fillet knife, which he pointed into the dog's mouth. The dog squealed and yelped, falling over on its side and hanging its blood-gushing mouth, impaled with the serrated carving utensil, landing roughly down between its forelegs. It fell on its side, pawing at the knife and retching in brutal pain. Alex reached into the pack and took out a long rope, cinching it around a cannon's carriage and trunnion and tire. He used the other side to harness the straps on his pack. Alex reached into the pack and took out a long rope, stitching it around a cannon carriage's trunnion and tire. He used the other side to harness the straps on his pack. He leaped off the ledge, holding a piece of the rope and sliding quickly down. The guards were flanking with their rifles upon the walkway, but Alex reached the shallow floodwater and puddled ground in mere seconds and was quick to untie the pack. The soldiers began firing, but Alex had already reached the bushes beyond the outer walls of Hob and soon was deep enough within the thick forest to blend in unseen by the snipers. He ran and ducked in the thickets along the right side and against the river's current away from Hob. Much further into the forest, 10 miles, nearly half a day, Alex became sure he had eluded captivity. However, wandering through the woods across the river, he became exasperated. Paranoia grabbed his psyche as he thought of the crazed dog he had slain and the militiamen with their rifles who had tried to shoot him. He realized there was a good chance he would be found if he stopped walking and refused to let himself break from running away. He did not know where he was going, but he knew he would need to find his way home soon. The pack weighed his steps down, and the little food he had eaten in the basement was not nearly enough to give him total nutrition. Sustenance was critical to his continued survival, so he began to plan a way to stay near the river while setting up camp. The sun was still high, yet the light was golden through the tree leaves shining from the sun, which meant it was late afternoon. He still did not understand which way it would lead to safety, nor did he know the boundary of the militia's search, but assumed a spot to camp away from the river would be his best hope for survival. So eating, drinking, and resting became top priorities. Alex pressed to the outer limits of the land of Hobbs' infrastructure of biochemically enhanced life forms into the unknown beyond.